North America is finally back. We're finally at the week of games that kick off Split 2, and I've got some hot takes and predictions here for you. Rather than just doing a standard power ranking where, yes, I'm going to put every team in the order that I think they will finish the split, I asked some of you for your predictions. I'm going to lace some of those in with this as well as blend my own. And we'll see how this goes. Now, this is not previewing the upcoming week's games. That will be on Friday with the Pit, and the Rendezvous does return on Wednesday as well. So if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe and turn on that bell for notifications for 3 videos each and every single week as we finally get back to North American content. Thank God. Starting off with my first hot prediction, I'll actually use Beans' tweet because he referenced this as well. He said, XU in his interview is right, and Dignitas will replace at least one player after Split 2, and this will not be the only team making a change. My prediction that I had wrote down prior to reading that along this lines is that 3 teams are not going to make it through the split without changing. My logic for this is that teams are going to want to try and make a change if they're going to midway through this year to give themselves the most amount of time going into summer to allow that change to flow through, start building some momentum at the end of Split 2 going into Split 3 where yes, they'll probably get eliminated. It's not going to look pretty necessarily, but they'll at least have something to build off of, and it will just be important for them to snowball into summer whenever top 2 make it to Worlds and they get their final last-ditched attempt to try and just climb up the standings and get that miracle run. Now, I'll place my bottom 2 teams for Split 2 here in that I think it still is going to be Disguised in last, and I do think Dignitas is going to be right above them in 7th. For Disguised, don't forget, at the end of this year, they are subject to promotion relegation. So the reason why I think that they might make a roster change at some point in time is that if they finish 8th, or it looks like they're trending that way again, I could see a clear world where they're looking at the NACL standings, they're seeing the top team there, and just saying, why don't we try and poach one of them and get rid of one of our weaker players to not only weaken the competition that they'll have to play against whenever it comes to promotion relegation, because they can give them a salary, assuming the player doesn't want to like drop out of college or whatever else they're doing. And it would just allow them the chance to hopefully make it through. For Dignitas, I have no logic to go on this other than the headlines, and that is apparently they're just not looking good in general. I don't know what's driving that. I don't know what the issue is. I refuse to tap into like behind the scenes roster rumors, which I'm sure I could get if I asked around, but I just don't want to know. I want to be in the same position as the general public. And because of that, I'm putting them solidly at 7th. That feels good to me. I'll get into the other team that I think that is going to make a change a little bit later on if they were to make one. We'll jump up a little bit higher in the standings on this one. We'll actually use their own tweet on it. Shopify Rebellion League of Legends said, Shopify is going to win Split 2. No, you ain't. But I do think Seo's coming into this roster actually does shake them up quite a bit. I'm personally hoping that he unlocks B-Voy, and I hope that Contracts and Fudge can step up to the form that we're hoping for them to play in, and Palafox can return a little bit. So I do think they will actually overperform a little bit, and I do think that Seo's combined with Contracts will give Contracts a little bit more confidence going into this split, and I think they actually climb as high as 4th. Now, because I'm doing a specific ranking, yeah, I'm going to put them at 4th, which I know comes with repercussions that I'll deal with here in a minute. But I hope Shopify does well. It felt like they had momentum going into the beginning of this year, and another bad split for them would honestly be not good. It would feel like the whole entire thing is doomed, and all this hype at the beginning of the year, not only for the roster, but potentially for the org on the content front and beyond that. Like, they got to perform at least a little bit, and we need to see a lot from the org off the Rift in terms of their content. Live events up in Toronto, especially with MSI being in Canada. I want to see Shopify step up their presence pretty massively this split. This is pretty much going to be make or break for me in terms of whether I have faith that they will be able to do the right things as an organization moving forward outside the Rift, because you have everything lining up in your favor. So if you can't do it right now, when you ever going to get it right? Also, Charlie and Ludwig, you better be like one of you has to be streaming each and every time that this team plays if you want this whole co-stream partnership thing to end up working out. And yeah, I think I said that right. I don't know. Butter My Tushy said, after a successful Korean boot camp at the T1 headquarters and resolution of visa issues, Lyon will make the losers final as a dark horse, but ultimately fall short. No, that ain't happening. I got Lyon solidly at 6th. Hey, which makes playoffs. They're going to be there. That's good. It's better than the 2 below them. but I'm just not convinced. Maybe they'll show up. Maybe they will play better because they did play Cloud9 close in that first series that they had against them. But like, I don't know. Maybe it's just my ignorance. Maybe it's just that I haven't been given a reason to care about this roster. I mean, I rarely see them come up in my social media feed outside of like the organization like hyping themselves up a little bit. But I don't know much about the players, the content, their scrims, anything. Like, and I'm very involved in social media League of Legends. I just don't see anything from Lyon out there. So I got no reason to put them up any higher. So 6th, why not? All right, this is where this gets real controversial real quick. My number 5, the team that I think is also potentially going to make a roster change. And I know, look, this is the video for bold predictions. I'm just laying that out there up front. Team Liquid is going to finish 5th this split. Hey, what's up? The wife just called, almost as if an omen to warn me not to say this, but I'm still going to say it anyways. I think this is the split where Impact is finally dethroned as the king of the North top laner in the league. I'm expecting some sort of combination of Thanatos, of Sniper, of Bwipo to step up and finally knock Impact off his pedestal that he has been on for such a long period of time in this league. And once that pillar crumbles domestically, I think the rest kind of follows suit with it, including Umpty still underperforming. I think APA and Umpty being on different pages is going to look bad on APA, but I don't know what exactly you necessarily do there. And the bot lane will be like the only saving grace, but it feels like we're slowly approaching that time where like TL is eventually going to fall off, in my opinion. It's just a matter of the first person being able to predict it, and that's going to be me. I'm going to say that they're going to fall off pretty hard. But on top of that, I think that also comes from the fact that Spawn is coaching remote. I know there was the meme of him having cameras everywhere and being able to see everything and do everything. I don't care whether he can see everything or not. When you are not there in person, it is a drastic difference. And the more I hear about Split 1 and how like Team Liquid was more prepared than any other team because of the facilities that they had in Sao Paulo, and the fact that basically like they were healthy and able to scrim and able to practice and do everything that they need to do, which is by all means a testament to how good their organization ecosystem is, that they have multiple headquarters in Europe, Brazil, North America. Fine. When they were playing domestically, they did not look great. Like, I know they won. They looked not great at MSI, even though they beat K-Corp in the best of 3 there. Domestic-wise, they were close to getting knocked out early on. They did lose that upset to Brazil. They were pushed in the domestic stage of things more so than any other team. I'm not sold that they're gonna be good this split and that the issues won't finally come back around to bite them in the ass, and Spawn not being there, even though he can fly in if need be. If things start to snowball out of hand, maybe it gets worse. So yeah, bold prediction, I'm going to put TL at 5th. And the roster change that will come in, I don't know. Whatever TL wants to do, I don't want to point fingers in the one direction that everybody's going to be looking to point them at. It could be anywhere at this point. But I think the whole crux of TL fumbling and like falling down is Impact no longer being like the de facto best top laner in the league. Once that crumbles, I think the rest goes behind it. But if Impact stands the test of time, comes back and still smashes domestically and nobody else can step up to beat him, then this prediction is going to age absolutely terribly. I'm going to put these two takes side by side because they're hilarious when looking at them in context. Noki said, not super hot, but I've been saying that I think Cloud9 will win the split. Doubles down on it. And Hammerfy says Cloud9 won't make quarters. Two polar opposite side of things. I am actually on the hotter side. I think that C9 finishes second in the split. I think it finally starts clicking. I think that they trend in the right direction and finally get all their ducks in a row other than just that final series that they're not able to take. Because I think that this meta from what we're hearing right now is going to favor the more mechanically talented, the people who can make outplays in the lane, and it's not going to be this heavy macro reliance, which I think does fall into C9's strength for sure, even though team fighting will still be a part of it. It's not like FlyQuest is a pushover. It's not like Team Liquid or Shopify are necessarily going to be pushovers if Shopify steps up. It feels like it's been such a long period of time since like we had C9 like clicking on all fronts, and it feels like that is finally going to happen for some reason. I just get that feeling. Also, the fact that there will be no finals in like a massive arena or stadium, I think does specifically help Cloud9 and helps 100 Thieves by getting some of the younger players on both of these teams the chance to play in a setting that will be a little bit more familiar to them. So yes, I do think the split unironically benefits those that aren't like the massive stage clutch moment players like FlyQuest, like Blippo, like Inspired. I think this is going to be one of those splits where everybody kind of sees a downturn that is those clutch players because you don't really have that moment that you're building towards. Again, all predictions. This could age terribly. By proxy of that, I will reveal this before I say my final thing. I got FlyQuest at third, which means, yeah, I'm predicting 100 Thieves will win their second split ever of LCS, of LTA, and it will still be in a freaking studio. Martin actually put out there exactly what I'm predicting, which is a C9 100 Thieves final. I think 100 Thieves, like when you look back at this year and what they've been building towards, like take a step back further to like summer of last year. This squad has continuously been getting better. Yes, they lost pretty heavily in finals to Team Liquid. Part of that I am biasly going to write off by proxy of the team getting sick and having a ton of issues in Brazil, whereas Team Liquid was healthy and getting to practice the entire time. Had that not happened, we beat FlyQuest. We beat every other team in the domestic part of the league. I legitimately think that we're going to be really freaking good. An expectation for this split for 100 Thieves fans, which I'll get into more on Wednesday, I think actually is top two. Like finals should be the standard that we set for ourselves. I don't think this is as risky of a prediction as it might have been just a bit ago. But man, would it be fucking nice to get this monkey off our goddamn back and finally overcome this hurdle so that people can stop downplaying us. And with that, though, has to come consistent domestic success. I'm not going to be upset if we lose best of ones to TL, to FlyQuest, to C9, but come best of threes and best of fives, I do want to see us step up and take everybody to 5 games or just straight up knock them down 3-1, 3-0. We have the skill for it. We have the players and personalities for it. This feels like if there's ever going to be a split where like we're riding the wave of continuously improving split over split, we went from third to second. What's after second? First. 100 Thieves is my prediction to win this split. So these are my final power rankings. Let me know what you think. Am I crazy? Am I really pushing the envelope a little bit too much on this? Or did I play it too safe at various different points? You tell me. But regardless, we got 2 more videos to come later this week, hyping up the series that will kick off on Saturday. We will be watching the series, I believe, in Brooklyn. This is not fully confirmed yet. I'm waiting to hear back from Alec, who owns Brooklyn. But I believe we're officially confirmed. I will have a full video out with all dates for New York City watch parties here. It will be likely the first 2 in Brooklyn, the second 2 in Manhattan at OS, and then finals. I'm working on securing a bar on Father's Day. Be sure to follow my Twitter if you want to get involved with these videos, including overreactions, which return next week. And for all updates on watch parties, thank you for tuning in. My name's David Shannock. Be sure to fill out your taxes. It is going to be, March 31st when this video comes out. Taxes are due in 16 days. Balance your checkbooks and take care of your personal finances, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.